5.2.
The first point to bear in mind is that nothing, I repeat, nothing is ever free. How often have you seen ads saying things like, "Get a free MP3 player when you subscribe to our magazine for 6 months"? There's something about the word free that immediately attracts us. I want it. It makes us feel smart, as if we're going to get something for nothing. But of course, that MP3 player, which incidentally will probably break the second time you use it, wasn't free at all. In spite of what the ad said, its price was really included in the magazine subscription, so don't trust any ad that offers something for free. A second trick that advertisers use is when they tell us, "There are only a few left. Buy now while the stock lasts." What happens to us when we read or hear these words? Even though we don't really need the products, and maybe don't even like them, we immediately want to be among the lucky few who have them. But let's be clear about this. Companies just don't run out of products. Do you really think the manufacturers couldn't produce a few more if they thought they could sell them? Of course they could. When it comes to new products, we, the consumers, are like sheep, and we follow each other. So another way advertisers get us to use something is to tell us, everybody's using it. And of course, we think everybody can't be wrong, so the product must be fantastic. So as to make us believe it, they use expressions like, "It's a must-have," or "It's the in thing." And they combine this with a photograph of a large group of people so that we can't fail to get the message. But don't be fooled. Even if everybody is using it, and they may not be, everybody can be wrong. Another favorite message is, "You too can look like this," accompanied by a photo of a fabulous-looking man or woman. But the problem is, you can't look like this because actually the woman or man in the photo is a model, and also because he or she doesn't really look like that either. The photo has been airbrushed in order to make the model look even slimmer, with perfect skin, and even more attractive than they are in real life. Finally, what most annoys me is, "Trust me, I'm a doctor," or "Trust me, I'm a celebrity." The idea is that if a celebrity is using the product, it must be fantastic, or if a doctor recommends it, it must really work. But be careful. Although the actress is holding the product in the photo, do you really think she colors her hair with it at home? And the doctor in the ad, is he really a doctor or just an actor wearing a white coat? Ads also often mention a particular organization that recommends their product. For example, things like, "Our dog biscuits are recommended by the International Association of Dog Nutritionists." Well, that's probably an organization that the company set up themselves. Or, "A recent independent study found that our toothpaste cleans your teeth better than any other brand." What study was it? Who commissioned the study? It was probably produced for the company itself and paid for by them too.
5.3. 1.
In spite of what the ad said, its price was really included in the magazine subscription.
2.
Even though we don't really need the products, and maybe don't even like them, we immediately want to be among the lucky few who have them.
3.
So as to make us believe it, they use expressions like, "It's a must-have,"
4.
and they combine this with a photograph of a large group of people so that we can't fail to get the message.
5.
The photo has been airbrushed in order to make the model look even slimmer, with perfect skin, and even more attractive than they are in real life.
6.
Although the actress is holding the product in the photo, do you really think she colors her hair with it at home?
7.
It was probably produced for the company itself and paid for by them too.
5.4. 1.
Although the ad said it would last for years, mine broke after 2 months.
I went to work even though I wasn't feeling very well.
I like Anne, though she sometimes annoys me.
2.
In spite of her age, she is still very active. Despite her age, she is still very active.
In spite of being 85, she is still very active. Despite being 85, she is still very active.
In spite of the fact that she's 85, she is still very active. Despite the fact that she's 85, she is still very active.
5.5. 1,
I went to the bank to talk to the bank manager. I went to the bank in order to talk to the bank manager. I went to the bank so as to talk to the bank manager.
2,
I went to the bank for a meeting with the bank manager.
3,
I went to the bank so that I could talk to the manager in person.
4,
I wrote down what he said so as not to forget it.
5.6.
When Paul Feldman started his business, he really thought that at least 95% of the people would pay for their bagels. This was presumably because that was the payment rate that he got in his own office. But, in fact, this rate wasn't representative at all. I mean, in his office, most people paid probably just because Feldman worked there himself, and they knew him personally, and probably liked him. So, when Feldman sold his bagels in other offices, he had to accept less. After a while, he considered that a company was honest if over 90% of the people paid. Between 80 and 90% was what he considered to be normal, the average rate. He didn't like it, but he had to accept it. It was only if a company habitually paid less than 80%, which luckily not many did, that he would feel he had to do something. First, he would leave a note, sort of giving them a warning, and then, if things didn't improve, he would simply stop selling there. Interestingly, since he started the business, the boxes he leaves to collect the cash have hardly ever been stolen. Obviously, in the mind of an office worker, to steal a bagel isn't a crime, but to steal the money box is. So, what does the bagel data tell us about the kind of offices that were not honest, the ones that didn't pay? Well, first of all, it shows that smaller offices are more honest than big ones. An office with 20 to 30 employees generally pays 3 to 5% more than an office with 2 to 300 employees. This seems to be because in a smaller community, people are more worried about being dishonest, probably because they would feel worse if they were caught. The bagel data also suggests that your mood, how you feel, affects how honest you are. For example, the weather is a really important factor. When the weather is unusually good, more people pay. But if it's unusually cold or rainy, fewer people pay. And people are also affected by holidays, but in different ways. It depends which holiday. Before Christmas and Thanksgiving, people are less honest. But just before the 4th of July and Labor Day, they are more honest. This seems to be because holidays, like the 4th of July, are just a day off work, and people always look forward to them. But Christmas and Thanksgiving are holidays where people very often feel stressed or miserable, so their bad mood makes them less honest. The other thing Feldman believes affects how honest people are is the morale in an office. When employees like their boss and like their job, then the office is more honest. He also thinks that the higher people are promoted, the less honest they are. He reached this conclusion because, over several years, he'd been delivering 3 baskets of bagels to a company that was on 3 floors. The top floor was the executive floor, and the lower 2 floors were people who worked in sales and service, and administrative employees. Well, it turned out that the least honest floor was the executive floor. It makes you wonder whether maybe these guys got to be executives because they were good at cheating. But in general, the story of Feldman's bagel business is a really positive one. It's true that some people do steal from him, but the vast majority, even though no one is watching them, are honest.
5.7. Verbs and expressions. A. 1,
Manufactured.
2,
Launched.
3,
Merged.
4,
Market.
5,
Produced. Exported.
6,
Took over.
7,
Became.
8,
Expanded.
9,
Set up.
10,
Imported.
11,
Grows.
12.
Close down. Drop.
5.8. Verbs and expressions. C.
Do business with.
Do a job.
Do market research.
Do well. Do badly.
Make a deal.
Make a decision.
Make an investment.
Make a loss.
Make money.
5.9 Organizations and people. A. 1,
A chain.
2,
A business.
3,
A multinational.
4,
Headquarters.
5,
A branch.
B. 1,
The staff.
2,
A customer.
3,
A client.
4,
A colleague.
5,
The CEO.
6,
The owner.
7,
A manager.
5.10 1,
We're making good progress with the report.
2,
The new building is progressing well.
3,
We export to customers all over the world.
4,
One of our main exports is cheese.
5,
Can you refund me the cost of my ticket?
Sorry, we don't give refunds.
6,
Sales have increased by 10% this month, so there has been an increase in profits.
7,
The demand for organic produce has grown enormously.
8,
Most toys nowadays are produced in China.
9,
Half the applicants for the job were rejected.
10,
Rejects are sold at a reduced price.